Hi, welcome to Rouge and Review. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Mom, or Queen. We are doing our first episode, our premiere episode, and we're going to be discussing the Next Gen NYC Season 1, Episode number 1, called Welcome to New York. It starts out with Ariana walking her two dogs in the confessional. She said, "I love the New York energy. The second I got off the plane and walked out of the airport, the smell of urine and cigarettes, I said, this is my place." What?
I mean, I don't blame her.
Really?
I mean, it's just the New York vibe. That's what you get. You go to New York, you smell urine, cigarettes, flying rat
Marijuana?
shit everywhere. Well, I'm not too fond of the marijuana, but there's marijuana everywhere.
Yeah.
There's the hot dog trucks everywhere. It's just the New York thing. You got
All right.
Elmo's on the corner. It's New
It's the New
York.
York thing.
It's the essence of the city
Okay, so
that never
Ariana,
sleeps.
a little bit about Ariana. She is 22 years old, and she is the daughter of Kim Zolciak. Kim Zolciak was on The Real Housewives of Atlanta in the very beginning, in the
Mhm.
first season. And right now she's in the midst of going through a very messy divorce.
With Croy Bierman. Her stepdad, I thought that was her father.
No, that is her stepfather. He adopted her and her sister, Brielle. And then they have Kim and Croy had 4 other children together. So she's
And he
got
was
4.
on the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes, he was. Okay, so the next thing we see is we see Brooks Marks, and he's walking around the city also looking for an apartment. And while he's doing that, he's texting with Gia. And on that text thread, they're talking about, well, Gia's in New Jersey at her mother's house, laying by the pool.
Teresa Giudice.
That's her mother,
Or
yes.
Giudice, depends on who you ask.
That is true. And it depends on when you ask, because sometimes Teresa would refer to herself as Judice, and then at one point she changed it to Judice. Judice. I don't know. Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yes. RHONJ.
That's correct. And Brooks Marks, is the son of Meredith Marks. And where's Meredith Marks from?
Salt Lake.
That's correct. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
And he is a model, beauty influencer, and social activist, but I haven't really seen any of his social activism, so I'm intrigued to see what he is doing with that.
Yes. He also said that he is also a member of the Marks family. That is something that he needs to put on his resume. I thought that was interesting.
And I think he has a brand.
He does. Brooks Marks. He's got a clothing brand, and he's also the creative director for his mom's company.
Yeah, but she keeps firing him.
Yes, on the daily.
Yes.
Then we meet Ava and Charlie, and we also meet Chloe. So Chloe is Brooks's little sister.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all at a photo shoot that Brooks is doing with his mom, Meredith.
And she's dressed up as his head intern or whatever, right?
She
In the
was
blonde
dressed.
wig, yeah.
Yeah, she was dressed up in the blonde
Spilling
wig.
the champagne all over him.
Yes, exactly. So Brooks says that when he met Charlie, Charlie was in a relationship, but this summer his friend Charlie is single, and he
He's
feels
a new
like
person.
he's a new person, 2 different people. And Charlie's kind of hitting on his little sister Chloe, and he's not really digging that because he doesn't like the way that Charlie treats women.
Yeah. But in other confessionals, we've heard that Charlie treats women very well. So we're going to see how this all plays out.
Well, it is his friend, and he doesn't want his friend dating his little sister. I
Yeah,
get
it's
that.
a weird dynamic. I wouldn't want my friend dating my sister either.
Right.
Because you're protective over your siblings.
I would hope so, right?
Yeah.
Then we see Ariana and her boyfriend Hudson, and they're walking down the street in New York City holding hands. I thought that was very cute.
They've been together for 2 years?
For 2 years, but they have been on and off for 9 years. They've known each other. They've been best friends for 9 years.
It's a long time.
Yep. We find out she's been on TV since she was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She got her first brand deal at 14, and she said the money that she was making doing 3 posts a week was astronomical. I don't know exactly how much astronomical. What was that motion you just did there?
0. It's gone.
Oh, yes. That money is gone.
Probably a
Unfortunately,
weird motion.
it was a weird motion, which is why I said, what is that motion you're doing?
Yeah, I was getting some money handy.
Maddie.
So Maddie's rubbing tug.
You're going to get a Matthew from me if you keep doing that, son. Ariana unfortunately says that her parents took all of her money and she doesn't really know where it went. And she didn't find out about it until 2 years ago. So now she's 22. When she was 20 is when she realized that her money was gone. And that's one of the reasons she moved to New York City, is kind of to get away from all that drama, that and the divorce situation. So her and Hudson are kind of talking about the whole situation. And Hudson has opinions about Ariana giving her mom money because her mom is still asking her for money.
Hmm.
And Ariana looks at him and says, listen, I mean, it's really none of your business.
Yeah.
But we find out it maybe is a little bit of his business because one,
Yeah.
they're gonna be living together.
And they've been together for so long, and she talks to him about it. Also, she's hiding it from him, so like it is kind of his business at this point.
I agree. It is kind
And
of
it's
his business.
bothering Ariana, so like at this point it's becoming his business because it's messing with his relationship with her.
Right. And she feels like she's in a bad situation. I mean, it is her mother, and she does have four younger siblings at home. And she's like, what am I supposed to do? Say no to my mom when she asks for money? And he's like, well, yeah, I wish you would sometimes.
I think Kim's posting bottles of like $1,000. Yeah.
$200 bottles of wine that she's drinking.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, her daughter's zelling her money, which is insane. And she doesn't even know how much money it was that's gone. Because one of the producers asked her, do you know how much money? And her response was, I don't even know how much money, which is really sad. She wished that there was more transparency. And I agree with her because,
Hmm.
that's not right. She never wants money to destroy her relationship with her family ever. And you can see that about her. I mean, although she doesn't mind working hard and making the dollar, she doesn't want that to come between her and her mom, which I think is good because a lot of these.
Yeah, it's a good value to have.
Absolutely. Then we meet Georgia,
My favorite.
and she is drinking wine, and she said, this is my dream. I'm sipping wine and someone's painting me. So
Hmm.
where were they? Were at some kind of club?
No, they weren't at the Red. No, I think that was a different show we were watching. They weren't at the Red Rooster.
No, I don't
No.
even know what you're talking about. Now you're just making stuff up.
No, that's a place in New York. No, they
Anyway,
were at some kind of event somewhere. But yeah, she was getting painted, and then
yeah, it was at the club. So she's inside, she's drinking wine,
and
and
all of them
someone
are
is,
waiting outside
yeah,
and
Chloe and
calling her,
Brooks.
and she's just not answering because she's getting painted, and she's like, "I'm ready for my close up, Mr. DeMille."
Yeah, so Chloe and Brooks are standing outside in the line to get in the club, and that's the club that George is inside. And then they
Hmm.
called Charlie, because he's the one who got them on the list.
Yeah,
And
and
he's like,
he's
no, no.
late.
And he's late. And he's like, no, you can just get in there. So Brooks meets Georgia. Oh, we find out that the Brooks met Georgia through Charlie. That's how they
Yeah,
got to
Charlie
know
and
each other.
Georgia have known each other for a long time,
Yes.
and like Georgia used to sleep over at Charlie's all the time, and like they've known each other for a very long time. Good friends.
Yes. And then we meet Ava. Tell us a little
Hmm.
bit about Ava. What do you know about Ava?
She is 24.
Mm-hmm.
Her father created the Rockefellers. What is it called? Like the producing,
Her
like
dad is Damon Dash, and he
yeah, that
co-founded Rockefeller Records.
yeah, Rockefeller Records. And oh, I can't even read my damn handwriting.
He's a music mogul who, by the age of 19, made his first $1 million. And her
Yeah,
mom is Rachel Roy.
Rachel Roy, the fashion designer.
And she's grown up in the public eye, and she's been modeling her whole life. I thought it was funny when she was in the car with her dad
And
and
he
her
was
little
like,
brother. And she's playing I Spy with My Little
"I
Eye. And
spy
she said,
something black," and he's like, "Not any of our boyfriends."
not even her boyfriends.
And Rockefeller Records, I did some research. Two of the biggest artists that they worked with are Kanye and Jadakiss.
Good job. Then we find out a little bit about Charlie. He's the crypto trader from New York. He was
Hmm.
New York born and raised. His dad is a retired investment banker, and he makes a shit ton of money. Those are his words.
And he's getting daddy's money too. He's paying for his haircut with his card and everything. It's
Yes,
a pain
that's
in my
crazy.
ass.
Yeah, so he got his money from his dad, and he used that money to invest in the cryptocurrency,
Hmm.
right?
And haircuts, apparently.
And haircuts. So one of the things I sent you was not too long ago, there was an arrest in New York City where two crypto guys held another crypto guy hostage, and they tortured him to try and get his passwords
To get more crypto.
to get more crypto. So the story is,
It was a
it
crypto
was,
captivity.
yeah, this was in the New York Post, right? The crypto
Hmm.
kidnappers They were accused. The accused kidnappers' names were William Duplessis and John Wolsek, and they were like the party bros. They had this party bro lifestyle. They lived in this townhouse in Soho where they tortured this Italian tourist slash crypto guy. Every day they'd be ordering all this fancy food. Their neighbors would say that they'd be like $1,500 to $2,000 worth of food outside on their doorstep. Sometimes they wouldn't even get it. They would just leave it out there, but they would order all this food. And the guy that they were torturing, his name is Michael Valentino, and he was able to escape. And they arrested these two guys. Well, when they went to arrest these two guys, it turns out that Charlie crashed at like that building. I don't know if he was in the same, like if it was a
Mhm.
co-op building but he was there. He
Yeah.
was on site, which is a
At
little
the time?
interesting. Yeah, he was like seen in the background in photos. Yeah. A little
Mm,
crazy, right?
yeah.
So we'll have to see how that whole thing plays out. Georgia feels like she is the most cut out person from New York that she's ever met. I mean, she's a self-proclaimed
New
perfect
Yorker.
New Yorker,
Yeah.
right? Her parents grew up between poor and middle class, and
And she's a generational New Yorker.
yes, and we see that Charlie and Ava meet up with Georgia, and Charlie says that she's like his little sister, which I like that. I like that he
Mhm.
has that relationship with her. Last summer, they used to meet up like 6 out of 7 days of the week, but they're not that close this summer, it seems. I don't know
Mhm.
why.
Mm.
They are asking Charlie who's on his roster because he's single now.
Yeah.
And he says that, Chloe's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Georgia lets us know that he also dated Lindsay Lohan back in the day.
Yeah. That's a pretty crazy girlfriend to have in high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, exactly.
Picking you up after school, freaking Lindsay Lohan.
So the next person we meet is Emira.
Mhm.
She is a model and a content creator. She went to NYU.
And she was the creative director at Paper Mag.
Correct. The beauty director.
Oh, beauty director.
Uh-huh.
And she also went to NYU with Brooks. That's why they have such a good friendship.
And also Riley Burris, which we haven't met yet.
Yeah, I
We'll
didn't
meet her.
introduce her yet. She also went to NYU
NYU.
for music production.
So when Emira was the beauty director for Paper Magazine, at the same time she was building up her own social platform. And then she started working for Victoria's Secrets, and then all of a sudden she kind of blew up. Now she's really doing her own thing, which is good for her. While we're talking to Brooks and Emira, Chloe's there and talking about, Charlie's there talking about taking Chloe on a date,
Yeah.
and they both agree that you really should not be dating your friend's siblings.
Yeah, but they're like, you do treat a woman well, but still, you shouldn't be dating your friend's siblings.
Right.
Then who said, I've never gotten that treatment? Was it Ava who said, I've never gotten that treatment from Charlie?
It could have been. It could have been. Then we meet Gavin. He's the real estate agent, and who's he taking around? Ariana and Hudson, right? He's a real
Yes.
estate agent in Alphabet City, they call that, which is like Avenue B, Avenue A.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I didn't really
they're,
understand what that Alphabet City thing was about. I was like, is this
okay.
Sesame Street?
So they're looking for an apartment together. Ariana wants to start a clothing line. She's working an online job now, so she has a steady paycheck.
Mhm.
So in addition to, I guess, getting, money as an influencer and a brand ambassador, she's also doing something else. Doesn't Hudson doesn't have to worry about work because his dad started the chicken chain down south called Zaxby's. So they've got some coin.
Yes.
So their budget was originally, Ariana said, was 6,000, and she would want to go as high as 8 was the max. But the realtor said
They got to double it.
they got to double it, and she seems a little bit shocked by that. So he
Yeah.
does show them a couple different apartments, and it's New York City. Apartments are very expensive. You don't
Mhm.
have a lot of square footage, and you pay a lot of coin. I didn't realize this. Riley and Brooks are talking, and Brooks is like, well, Ariana. She's like, well, I haven't really seen her since I was 10
Yeah.
because Candy and Kim had a falling out
Yeah, I forgot that was, yeah.
because of Don't Be Tardy for the Party.
Yeah.
That's what the falling
It's a
out was
good
about.
song.
Yeah, you were singing it all day yesterday.
Yeah. I completely forgot how it goes, though.
Really? I'm not gonna tell you because I
Yeah.
don't wanna hear it. Let's see. What else do we see? Gia's at home living with, her mom, and we find out that Brooks and Gia met at BravoCon. That's how they met each other. And they come, Gia comes to the city and she's talking about in order for her to leave New Jersey and go to the city, she's saying there's only one way in and out of the city, and
Yeah.
it's through the tunnel. And
And
what if
she's
there's
water going in the tunnel and it's a whole thing. Yeah.
Maddie, we live in New Jersey. How many ways are there in and out of New York City?
There's the train, there's the
Yep.
tunnel, you go through Hoboken, you
Okay.
go take the ferry.
There you go.
What else?
Bridges. There's bridges.
There's bridges.
Oh yeah, you could take the ferry from Atlantic Highlands. There's many ways to get. You can take the path. There's so many ways to get in and out of the city.
Yeah. You could take the subway.
After you get to the path, you can get to the subway.
I don't know where the
Once
path
you're,
is, but yeah.
yeah. But there's many ways. So I just want to let all of
Gia,
our
no.
listeners know. Well, yeah. I mean, G's not listening to us, but our
Maybe she
listeners.
is. Who knows? Gia, if you're out there, there's different ways to get to New York. You don't have to drown in the tunnel.
No, you don't. So Elmira invites them to this fashion show, and that's what she's talking about. That's why G is going to the city. And the fashion show happens to be in this old church, and that building was very cool that they had it in the fashion show. Georgia worked, I didn't know this. Georgia worked on, and this is so, well, actually, I'm jumping. I'm not going to get there yet. So the fashion show is a little bit odd. What did you think about that fashion show?
I thought it was cool, a bit confusing. I didn't know did it say who the designer was?
No, I don't know who the designer. I don't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't say who the designer was, but I did think it was interesting.
Yeah.
I wish
I
the
wasn't
silhouettes were different because it didn't offer much with the silhouettes, but I did think it was interesting with like the dark makeup and like the gothic mystical like aesthetic. So that was interesting.
okay. So then after that fashion show, then they're all going out for a birthday party,
Mhm.
right? Elmira's birthday, and we find out that Georgia, because she's sitting on the couch and she's talking to the girls, that she worked on the Katz's Deli Diplo party,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
You were impressed by that. I was impressed by the other thing.
And the Anna Delvey house arrest party. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Anna Delvey house arrest party.
Yeah.
So she's telling them that Katz's Deli became famous from When Harry Met Sally. Do you know what Harry Met Sally is?
Isn't that like Adam Sandler?
Gosh, no, you don't know what you don't know this either.
I don't know, but I
So
did write down When Harry Met Sally
yeah, so that's the movie that
because she
Katz's
kept
Deli.
talking about it through the
Yes,
whole night.
we went to
Have you
Katz's
seen When
Deli.
Harry Met Sally? Stupid. Have you seen When Harry Met Sally? Useless. She's funny though. I'll give her that because that's some stuff I say. Like, have you seen Rouge and Review? No. Stupid. Have you seen our latest clip? No.
So you can relate to Georgia. Okay, so you've been to Katz's Deli, Matt?
I have.
Yes. So one
You're.
time, yeah,
Oh
we
wait, is it like Irishy?
Katz is Jewish. It's a Jewish deli. We went to the city to see Uncle Rob and Uncle Tony,
Okay.
and the Carnegie Deli. We were not near it. We were downtown,
Was this
but
before it closed or?
it was, I don't know if it was before it closed. I'm not sure. I can't remember the timing. I would just remember it was the summer and it was very hot, and they were staying downtown. And we started walking, and we wound up walking to Katz's Deli. But there was this big, actually, we didn't go because there was this big long line. And I was like, we're not waiting to get inside to
So we
Katz's
didn't
Deli.
go to Katz's Deli.
Not really, because I wouldn't wait. And then I caught a cab because my feet hurt. And they were like, they were walking. And I was like, I can't walk anymore. My feet hurt. Typical me in New York. So then we see Ava comes in, and Georgia touches the bottoms of her shoes. Okay. That was a little much. After she touched the bottom of her shoe, what did she do?
She touched her
She
eye.
touched. She touched.
I think it's real. Like, who cares?
Well, it's certainly real. I mean, they are all freaked out by it. She is not phased
Who
in the least bit.
cares?
That's what Charlie said. Charlie doesn't care either.
We're all gonna die at some point. I'm not scared of germs. I stopped taking my allergy medicine this season, and I've never felt better. The germs are
Really?
just living in my system, and The earth is just loving me, and I love it right back.
You're a nut. So they're all sitting there on the couch and they're talking, and Gia is actually talking to Brooks, and then
Mhm.
Charlie finds out that they're talking, and he's like, "Are you talking about me?" And Gia's like, "Charlie, it's not appropriate that you date Brooks's sister." And Charlie says, "Well, why are you the mouthpiece? Like, why isn't Brooks saying something?"
That was rude. You never call
What?
anyone a mouthpiece.
No, no, you don't.
This
I
isn't
agree.
football.
Oh no, this is not football. I can't believe you came up with that sports reference. How'd you get that?
Like 2013. But go Falcons!
There you go. Charlie says, no, Riley agrees that this shouldn't be happening, but her friends used to call her Save-A-Ho, so she's trying not to get involved.
Yeah, but Gia says she's not a mouthpiece. She's just a good friend.
Yeah. I agree. I agree she was being a good
Mhm.
friend. And Georgia lets us know that because after that whole situation, then they go to the bathroom. The ladies go to the bathroom together and they find out that Georgia doesn't wash her hands either.
That's when they found out? Oh, okay.
Well, that's when they found out she doesn't wash her hands, and she announces that she's pro-germ. You know, she thinks that she has this, built up her immune system that, she starts talking about her body as a microbiome or something. I don't know what she's talking about.
You forgot to introduce Riley.
Yeah, I mean, Riley is Candy Burris's daughter. She graduated
Uh-huh.
from NYU. Her
Uh-huh.
mom gave her 1 year to get her act together, and then she's going to cut her off financially.
Yes.
So she feels the pressure.
And she wants to be a DJ.
She wants to be a DJ. She went to school for music production, right?
Candy wants her to be a lawyer, we think.
Well, I think she at one point was going to go to law school, and I guess then she changed her mind.
Did not. We
Yes.
shall see.
Wait, I have it. I don't wait. How did I miss that whole point? Chloe's
I think
FaceTime.
we we were gonna
I
bring it up
jumped
during the
over.
NYU section, but then we
Yeah.
jumped.
Yeah. I also
Is this just
I
not in your notes? I'm
no, it
not
is.
looking
I'm
at your notes. I'm
looking.
looking at mine.
No, no, no. It's in my notes. I just skipped. Sometimes I do that. You know what? Sometimes I just skip around. So, what it is we're going to be doing on this podcast is we're going to be talking about things like Next Gen NYC,
Hey, we're
and
not
we're going to.
done.
No, I didn't say we were done.
Okay.
I'm just letting them know kind of what we're going to be doing.
Let the children know.
Why can't they be adults? Who
They can
says
be
they have to be
anyone,
children?
but
Okay.
you're speaking the truth, queen.
That's it. You got that right. You got that right. Well, Charlie doesn't care that Georgia doesn't wash her hands after he goes to the bathroom because he doesn't
No,
always wash his hands either. So that's
after he
good to
takes a
know.
piss.
Right. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Because he said his penis is clean and he knows where it's been. So he doesn't need to wash his hands.
What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's disgusting. I think he needs to wash his hands. And if I ever meet him, I'll be sure not to touch his hands. That's just me. What do you think?
I don't know. I was thinking about this. I think you go to the bathroom, you go number 2, you definitely gotta wash your hands. You
Okay.
take a pee after you've just showered, you don't have to wash your hands.
Let's be real, Matt. If you're in the shower and you have to pee,
Well,
you're
you're gonna
peeing in the
pee.
shower. You're going to pee in the shower.
But usually I pee before I get in the shower. So
And that's disgusting too. Peeing in the shower. I'd like to add that. Not that anyone asked, but I'm just putting that out there.
but a lot of people do it.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to talk
A
about
girl's
that.
gotta do what a girl's gotta do.
Okay.
A goyle's gotta do what a goyle's gotta do.
All right.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite so far?
Georgia.
I don't have a
She's
favorite yet.
eclectic. She's crazy. I don't know. I like Georgia. I liked Ariana first because she was like, it smells like urine and cigarettes. I'd love it. But then she she just got kind of boring. No, I like Georgia. I like her outfits. She's fabulous. And I liked her based on her Instagram before she opened her mouth on the show. So yes, I stand by my statement. I think you're gonna end up liking. Let me do a prediction. I think you're gonna end up liking. You're gonna like Hudson
No.
or
Oh yeah, the jury's still out. I haven't made my decision.
maybe Ava or Emira.
Is it Emira or Elmira?
It's Emira.
Emira. I think I've mispronounced her name a couple times. I'm sorry if
I
I
think
have.
I think you're gonna like Emira because she's fashion diva.
I think you might be right, but I'm gonna let I actually, you know what, believe it or not, I really like Brooks on this. Now, every time Brooks was on Salt Lake City, he would annoy me. But so far on this, I like Brooks because I think that he is he's not bitchy. I think he's kind and thoughtful and doesn't like conflict. And I think that this group may need someone like that.
Mhm.
That's not how I thought he was, to be honest with you. When I would
The
see him on Salt Lake.
duality of a gay person.
Is that what you're going with?
That's what I'm going with. We have
Okay.
2 sides.
Okay. I don't have anything else to talk about with Next Gen NYC.
No.
No? Okay. Well, what do you have coming up this week?
What do I have coming up? Tom's River Pride.
Oh, okay. That's right. Happy Pride. It's Pride Month.
Be who you are for your pride.
Don't sing, remember?
That's not
What happened?
copyrighted. That's definitely not copyrighted.
Okay.
That's a made-up song from TikTok.
Okay.
Don't hide.
And you have some, what else do you have to do? You have some big projects that are due this week for school, and next week is finals, and then graduation,
And then I
high school
graduate.
graduation, which is pretty exciting. That's exciting, right?
What else? What else? What else? We're going to see Death Becomes Her soon,
That's coming up.
June
Yes.
25th, which just won the Tony
One
Award for
Tony.
Best Costume Design, Paul Taswell, who also did the costumes for the Wicked movie and Hamilton. And what else did he do the costume designs for? He's done the costumes for a lot of things. He's a very
Speaking of
talented
that,
designer.
do you want to, maybe our next episode, we will review
The
the Tonys?
Tonys? Yes.
Okay.
Paul Taswell also did Janelle Monáe's outfit for the Met Gala this year, which was very fabulous.
Really? All right. Well, maybe you could pull those looks together and stick them on our social media so that people can see what you're talking about.
I would
And when I say social media, you know what I mean, right?
like Facebook, Instagram,
TikTok. TikTok.
TikTok.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else. So I would like to thank everyone for watching and listening to Rouge and Review. And
Thank you
please
very
do us a
much.
favor. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, and give us a 5-star review. Until next time, bye.
Bye.